Hey guys, it's Jess. Um, so I am the owner of Aramids Designs, and I want to get into a topic that is a little uncomfortable. I'm a small business owner, and I first of all, I observe everything. I'm watching everything. I'm listening. I am doing so many different things. I am researching. I'm studying. I am doing more than just running a small business. Okay. I've gotten myself involved politically because I felt like as a small business owner, that's seeing the things that are going on. And when you see certain things, you can't unsee it. And so therefore I felt like as a small business owner, and I'm seeing all these things, I can't do anything. I can't make some changes. I can't try to, make a difference if I'm just sitting here in my small business. So I decided that I would get myself uncomfortable, which a lot of people don't like to do, and I would dabble in some other things because I think it's important to have that experience, to have the different experiences in your life. Because, first of all, it teaches you how to stay humble. It teaches you how to have empathy. It teaches you how to have compassion. It teaches you how to have understanding for not just, one group of people, but everyone. And as a small business owner, I have to tell you, I have seen so many things. I have experienced so many things that people don't even really even know that I have experienced. Um, but I really wanted to get on here and talk about something that's really important because we right now are in a sifting and shifting part of life right now, and that is for businesses, small businesses. And first of all, we all know that anyone who opens up a small business, especially a brick and mortar business, they are taking a risk. Not many people are willing to take that risk. Not many people are willing to put everything on the line. And it's really hard to do that. And that's why a lot of people you'll see they don't have brick and mortars. They kind of just go to different markets and they go to different events and they go to different things because the overhead is so much. It's growing. So if you think your overhead in your home is a lot, imagine having your overhead in your home and you have a business and you have a brick and mortar, okay? And I don't hear too many business owners talking about this, but I want to talk about it because I think it's important for people to understand why it is so important to support your small businesses. And I'm not saying this because I want you to support me, okay? But, obviously supporting each other, that's just what we should be doing in life anyway. Um, Now I am a mom, so I'm a small business. I'm a mom-owned small business, and so I am juggling because my daughter is just about to be 12. So I'm still juggling that life with sports and different events for school and different meetings at school and just her life in general. My other children are grown up. One's serving in the military, and one has already graduated college and he's off and doing his own thing. So anyway, the thing is this: nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about the struggles. Nobody talks about any of that. Everybody just thinks, owning a small business, oh, they own a small business, they're millionaires, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of this, they have a lot of that. You're assuming that. You're assuming that people who have small businesses have a lot of money and you don't need to support them. You don't need to. First of all, having a small business, people genuinely open up their businesses because they want to do something they love. They want to bring something to their community. And it usually starts with an amazing idea. And we have so many, where I live in my area and surrounding towns, we have amazing talent. We have so many talented people doing all kinds of things. But to take the risk to open up a brick and mortar in this economy, and everybody wants to say this economy, and you see that the economy, it looks like it's getting better. Some people say, oh, it's good. Some people will say all kinds of things. Well, let me tell you, lies. It's all lies, okay? The economy is not good because the economy means everything as a whole, as a system. And I keep talking about this system, and the system is made up of all these other little systems. Like, for instance, when you're a brick and mortar business owner, you have a gas bill, you have an electric bill, you have generally you have you have Wi-Fi, right? So because that's going to help run your system in your business. I want you to stop for a second. So if you do not have a brick and mortar business, and you're out at the markets and you're doing your thing, good for you. Good for you, because you know what? I have to tell you, it is the hardest thing to do is to have a brick and mortar. It is so hard right now. It is the hardest thing to have right now. Especially if you're not dabbling in all of these other little different projects, all these different things, and you're not, you're pulling from different avenues, whether it's online or whatever. But when you're a brick and mortar, it is so hard. It is so hard. So imagine right now the electric bills. I hear people just complaining, and I thankfully have solar in my home. I've had solar since, before the COVID pandemic. So I don't see much of that. I kind of did because our solar wasn't working for a little bit. But I see a lot of people posting about their bills and stuff. Well, so I don't own my brick and mortar. I rent my brick and mortar. So I'm seeing things from a different point of view. And because I have gotten involved politically, I also see things from a different point of view. Okay? I see a broader picture. And so basically, if the taxes go up, my rent goes up, right? And when the rates go up for the electric and the gas and the water and all of that, it goes up for me too. So when I, as a small business, have my rent, and then I have a $700 electric bill, and then I have to break that down or whatever I have to do, to make ends meet. But what happens is, it's not just me that's going through it. It's everybody. It is a system. We are all part of this system, and we are all going through it. So people are not spending the way they used to spend. We all know that. Don't lie to yourself. Don't make it sound good. People are not spending the way that they used to spend. I have seen it in my books. Okay? I've seen it in the books. And I'm not just here, and it's not just me. It's other small businesses. And I'm seeing how the small business community is just shifting. It's shifting. And it's going to be really sad when things really start moving, especially when we hit late 2026, we're going to see a huge change. There's going to be some changes that are going to happen, and it's really going to affect small businesses. It's really going to affect you guys and me, okay? It's already been moving in that direction. It's just going to get worse. And I don't like to put that out there. I'm not one to manifest anything like that. But that is when small business owners, brick and mortar shops, pivot. Okay? So when you're an entrepreneur and you're creative, you pivot. You figure out what you're going to be able to do next. Because you love what you do, you don't want to give it up. And I'm seeing small businesses all over, boutiques especially, pivoting and going where it's going to work. And let me tell you something, brick and mortars, owning a brick and mortar shop, you're going to see a lot of them closing. We're going to see them closing everywhere. It's going to happen. It's just going to happen. People are going to slowly start closing, and they're going to start pivoting and doing different things because of the way the world is moving in a different direction. I'm watching people who I've seen flourish and be successful pivoting. And when I say pivoting, I mean pivoting as in bringing other vendors in to their brick and mortars so that it will help draw more people in, not only for the brick and mortar, but for those who like to do markets and those who like to do pop-ups and those who like to do that. But people are starting to collaborate. But what I don't see people doing as small businesses is actually supporting each other. Like, it's every man for themselves right now. It's a very selfish thing. And I have been watching it. I've been seeing it. I've been seeing how it's working. And while you think everyone's out to help you, everyone's out to help themselves. And unfortunately, it's really sad. It's really hard to see that because that's not who I am, but I'm watching it, and people will only be there for you when there's something in it for them. People will only do something if there's something in it for them, instead of doing it from the heart and doing it because it's the right thing to do. So there is a lack of support, not only with small businesses really, really, really genuinely coming together, but there's also a lack in support in the community. And at the end of the day, people want easy. People want easy access. People are having things delivered to their door. So a lot of people are shopping online. And a lot of people are shopping online, and a lot of the stuff's coming from China. It's not coming from here. You're not getting unique pieces, handmade pieces. You're not. So the small brick and mortars and the small little pop-ups and the market people and those who do all of those things, majority of those people are making unique things that you can't get anywhere. You can't get it on Amazon. You can't get it. You might be able to get similar things, but they're going to be made in China. They're not going to be made here. The quality's not going to be as good. And you know what? Service? What kind of service are you getting shopping online continuously? So it is vital to have the brick and mortars in your towns. It is so vital. So if you don't support those brick and mortars, they're slowly going to go away. And then what's going to happen is we're already seeing that everything's moving to a cashless society, whether you like it or not. It's happening. They've already taken away the penny. That was the first sign. That was the first sign. 1 cent? First sign. It was the sign. And personally, I believe that people who shop small businesses should be shopping with cash. You should totally shop with cash because no matter what, we should never be a cashless society, okay? Never. But everybody is falling into that category because people don't realize when you're shopping online, you're doing this, you're doing that. You're just letting the system create this other system that's eventually going to break down all of these other good systems all into one, where they're going to control you. They're going to control how you spend your money. They're going to control how you shop. They're going to freeze your money. You're not going to have access to cash anymore. You're not going to have access to shop how you want. Eventually, it's just going to come to a screeching halt, and everybody's going to be like, what is going on? What's happening? Well, what's happening is you're not supporting the people who actually are supporting you, are supporting your community. Instead, everyone's starting to rely on governmental assistance. Should I say that again? Right. Everybody is starting to rely on the system instead of everyone supporting each other and relying on each other. So we're allowing the system to take control. We're allowing the system to take over. And it's just happening right underneath of everybody's noses, and nobody is saying anything about it. Nobody's talking about it. And it's really sad. It is really sad because we don't have a shared system anymore. There's no sharing anymore. There's no sharing and connection anymore. It's so hard. People are made to be so busy. I, as a brick and mortar owner, small business owner, I am working 20 times as hard as I was a couple years ago, just to bring in sales, to be able to keep my brick and mortar open. It is so hard. It is so hard. And then when I say working 20 times as hard is, okay, well, you're not just running your brick and mortar, which is really super hard, okay, as a small business owner, but now you're doing things online, and now you're doing things at markets, and now you're doing things and other avenues. You're just doing so many different things. It's like you're literally divided. to a point where you're just crashing, and you are like, you're saying to yourself, what's going on? What's going on in the system? Like, this isn't, I didn't do this. I didn't start doing this because this is what I wanted to do. I did this because this is what I love to do. And then you start to feel like you're losing the battle. You're losing the battle. I'm not losing the battle because I am working 20 times as hard. But I shouldn't have to work 20 times as hard as a small business owner. There's no support. There's nothing. It's like, it's so sad. And then, I'll say this as a small business owner, like, what am I going to do? I'm going to close my brick and mortar that I'm paying a lot of money for to stay open. I'm going to close. I can't afford to have anybody working for me, especially when the economy is the way it is. People are not shopping, okay? And everybody has an excuse why people aren't shopping, why people aren't doing this, why people aren't doing that. And I don't listen to that, because that's beyond the point. I see the patterns. I see what's happening in the world that we're living in right now. I see how people are struggling. I see how people have fixed incomes, and they can only do so much. Whether it's like once a month we get a day to go shopping. I see a lot of people browsing. A lot of people just browsing, just to get out, just to see. Maybe they might buy something, maybe they won't buy anything. But I have to tell you that none of us, including us, ourselves, brick and mortars, like when we go home and when we're, doing our own thing, like, we don't get to dictate how anybody is struggling, how anybody is spending their money, where they're spending their money, and what they're doing. We don't have any control over anybody but ourselves. So we are in a very pivotal moment right now for small businesses, a very pivotal moment. And I want you to know that if you have closed your business because of the economy and the way things are going, you don't want to talk about it. I understand. It's a lot. We put ourselves in debt immediately. The moment that we open a brick and mortar business, we are in debt. Okay? Immediately, we are in debt. You want to know why we're in debt? Because we don't have control over who's spending money, how they're spending money, where they're spending money, just like I just said before. So immediately, you can open a brick and mortar business, and that doesn't mean that, people are going to shop with you. That doesn't mean that people are going to love what you have. That doesn't mean anything, okay? It means that you love what you do, and you have an idea, and you want to make a difference, and you want to bring something unique to your community, because you want to build community, you want to create connection. But that doesn't mean that everybody's going to see it the way you see it as a small business owner. So I say this because it's honest, and we need more transparency in the small business community, and we're not getting that. We're just watching people close their businesses, and everybody's like, well, what happened? Well, why? What happened? What happened? What happened? Don't have judgment. You don't have any idea what it is like unless you are a small business owner yourself, whether or not you choose to speak up about the things that you're going through or not. You have no right to judge a small business at all. You have no idea what goes into having a small business. And I don't understand why our small business communities aren't being supported by the towns that they live in. Like, the actual town, the administrations within the town are not supporting the small business within their town. What is, you want everything to be shut down and run down and closed? So on a political standpoint, on my end, I say to myself, why are politicians not out there supporting their small business communities, like lifting them up, sharing love, showing support, getting out there? That doesn't mean that you have to say, oh, look at me, I'm supporting this business, because that's another thing I see within politics. I see that there are these politicians that go around helping to cut ribbons for people, who are opening their brick and mortar businesses, and take pictures. And it's like, oh, look at me, I'm supporting this small business. Look, I'm doing good in the community. Look at me, look at me. Where are they? Are they actually supporting you? Are they shopping with you? Are they sharing anything about the small businesses in their community through their township? Are they doing anything? Do they have a small business community within their township, like some kind of program that helps to lift up the small businesses in the communities that they are running? I'm not seeing that. What I'm seeing is every man for themselves, including the townships, including the towns that you're living in. I mean, there may be some towns who are very supportive, but come on. If a township has a Facebook page, they should be lifting up their small businesses in those, creating a platform where there is free advertising, okay? Because the first place people are really going to look to know what's going on in their town, to see what's going on, they're going to go on the township community page, right? So, and no business should be excluded. There shouldn't be favorites played. And that's another thing I see in politics. It's like, oh, well, if you donate to my campaign, I'll help support you. And then it's singling out all the other businesses, and it's not right. It's not right. I have seen here locally in my own town how politicians have lifted up certain businesses who have supported them. That is wrong. That is not okay. That is wrong. So I can speak on this behalf because I ran for mayor in my town, and I've seen the things that go on, and I can't unsee it. And I am a small business owner. Not just a small business owner, but I'm a brick and mortar small business owner right here in my town. Yeah, I had a ribbon cut. Yeah, I had all that. But those people don't show support at all. So it's just a vicious system that is just happening right before our eyes. And nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to get uncomfortable. But you know what? I'm willing to do that. Because I see things that are happening and it's not going to be good. What's gonna turn out is something that's going to be destructive. It's not going to be good for anybody. It's not going to be good for you, customers. It's not going to be good for anybody. It's not going to be good for the small business communities. It's moving in a direction and people could say, oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, keep telling yourself that. I'm not going to keep telling myself that. I'm not going to lie to myself. I'm not going to lie to my community. I'm not going to do any of that. I want transparency and I want honesty, and so I'm sharing it with you. So, while we all support somewhere along the line the big box corporation stores, okay, we all support we shop online, so we're supporting Amazon, we're supporting, for certain things. But right now, it just seems like that's where the support is going, and lack thereof in the small business communities. And again, I know, when we do things as a small business, it shouldn't be because we want business. It should be because we do it because we care. We do it because we love to do it. We do it because we want to make a difference. We do it because there is good purpose in it. That is a good small business. That is a good business to support. Someone who genuinely wants to do the right thing. And again, we're in a very pivotal moment for small business communities. And you're going to see it start shifting. It's happening. The shifting and the sifting is happening. So I'm just being honest with you. Whether or not you agree or disagree, that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their ideas and their perspectives. And I respect that. But I'm just going to be completely transparent and honest with you that things are changing. So, and I know that there is not much anybody can do about it right now. And everybody's just trying to make ends meet, trying to put food on the table, trying to keep their electric on, their gas on, trying to, and I get it because me too, as a small business brick and mortar, I have to keep my gas and electric on. I have to keep my Wi-Fi on, or I can't run my system. I'm with you. I stand with you. I understand. I understand the struggle. Not only that, I'm also a homeowner and a taxpayer, and I have a family to feed, and it's hard. It is so hard. So I get all the aspects of it. It's not like I'm just telling you this just to talk out my yin yang, okay? I'm telling you this because I understand and I get it and I stand with you. And I do hope that things will get better. I pray every single day. Believe me, I pray my little life away. But change is happening, and I think the most important thing right now is to see it, is to realize it. Not necessarily accepting it, but utilizing it to strengthen you, to pivot, to change, to do, I'm not a follower. I don't follow anything. I will come up with my own things. If something isn't working, I'm going to change it. If I see too many people doing it and there's a lot of competition, have at it. I'm going to work on something new. I'm going to do something new. I'm going to pivot. I'm always going to pivot, right? So, and right now I am pivoting. I am pivoting my business right now. I'm pivoting into many different ways, lots of ways that I am not sharing right now. But I'm pivoting. And I'm also learning, and I'm pivoting in a direction where I don't want to run my business anymore unless it has purpose driven with it, and good purpose. Purpose that's going to help. Purpose that's going to make a difference. That is where I am at in my business right now. And I just encourage everybody to get out there and support your local businesses wherever you are, whatever town that you are in, wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in the country, wherever you are in your state. Get out there and support those local small businesses. I cannot stress that to you enough. And just be mindful at the changes that are going on around you. And don't be so judgmental on the small businesses that are closing, because, like I said, immediately, every small business immediately puts themselves at risk and in debt. Okay, so it's hard, and you just have to, you can't be judgmental on them. Okay, I see that a lot. Oh, they don't have good food. Oh, they don't have this. Oh, they don't have that. Oh, they're changing this. Oh, they closed temporarily. I see all of this. And it's like, why are people so mean? Why are people doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you talking about a business like that? Excuse me. Have some respect not only for your local small business brick and mortars and your small business communities, but have some respect for yourself. And realize that, look in the mirror. Have you ever struggled? Have you ever gone through a rough patch? Have you ever been indebted to a system? Have you ever, went through something, a hardship? Have you ever went through anything yourself? Because I know you have. So everybody's just trying to pivot and change things, and when you come from money, it's easy to build your business. When you don't come from money and you don't have anything, or certain assets, and you're out and you see a small business owner decides they're going to just do it, and they're going to throw everything all in, and they're going to take a risk, like, you know what? It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of things to do that. Okay? Like me, I built my business literally from the ground up, and everything. I never took a loan for anything. I never did anything until probably a little over a year ago. I did, and it was the worst thing that I could have possibly have done, because the economy I seen was just crashing, and so I've had to go through my own hardships, and I admit that. But I'm still here, and I'm pivoting, and I'm trying to do whatever I can to keep my business alive and blooming and blossoming, and So I can sympathize and have empathy and compassion for any small business, and I know the struggles because it's real. It's real. And how dare anyone put any small brick and mortar business or any small business down for anything. Okay? It's hard. And I want you to realize that it's hard. And we all need to do better as a community to be supporting each other. So spread love, spread light, share it wherever you can, wherever you go. Be mindful, have some respect, and just say more encouraging things to people, not discouraging things. Love you all. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Bye.